In 1912, Franz Reichelt, a parachute engineer and well-known inventor, wanted to test out his newly created parachute suit. With no previous testing, he wanted to give it a go. His first demonstration, he decided it would be a good idea to jump off the Eiffel Tower. He jumped, the suit failed, and he plummeted to his death in front of hundreds of people. While working at SeaWorld, Jay Newton and his co-worker Brian Hartley were lifting a killer whale with a master tone crane. Newton got underneath to inspect the harness when Hartley then accidentally released the 20-ton whale from the crane, crushing and killing Newton instantly. In 1920, dancer Isadora Duncan was a beautiful young lady with a long, slender neck. She enjoyed wearing long scarves and going for rides in the countryside. Unfortunately, the combination of the two didn't mix so well. One day, while sitting in the passenger seat of a sports car, her scarf blew back in the wind and got caught in the rear wheel axle of the vehicle, snapping her neck in two. Kenneth Pinion, an American Boeing engineer from Gig Harbor, Washington, decided to go have sex with a horse at a nearby farm in King County with his two friends and videotape it. Pinion was taken to the hospital moments after their act in pain with a ruptured colon for receptive anal intercourse with the horse. He later died of his injuries. 99-year-old Debbie Mills Newbroten was walking to her 100th birthday party with her daughter. While crossing the road in her wheelchair, she was hit and killed by a truck that was delivering her birthday cake for her party. 88-year-old Ilda Vider Maciel of Rio de Janeiro was in the hospital being taken care of. While in the hospital, a nurse technician mistakenly injected soup directly into her veins and not her feeding tube. Because of this, Maciel not long after died of a stroke. Lee Sweg Siap, a video game addict, quit his job in an effort to devote more time to playing video games. In August of 2005, Siap began a gaming marathon at a local South Korean coffee shop. Playing for more than 50 hours straight and only stopping for little naps or bathroom breaks, he collapsed from dehydration and heart failure. Game over. A Russian woman by the name of Fagilyu was wrongly pronounced dead by doctors. When family and friends showed up for her funeral, she woke up in shock that she was at her own funeral. Then she immediately after died of a heart attack. McInnes, also known as Juelz and Enki in the music community, was driving with his friends under the influence. As if that's not bad enough, to make the situation worse, he tweeted out acknowledging the fact that he was drinking, driving, speeding, and drifting. Not soon after, him and his friends all had died in a fatal car accident. Glenn Knoll and his sons died when they were out to get some fertilizer for their farm. When trying to suck some manure from the Maryland dairy farm, one of them fell in. The other two were then said to have tried to help and also fell in, drowning in poop. What a crappy way to die. Literally. Sergei Tuganov was bet $3,000 by two girls he couldn't go at it all day with them in bed. To prove them wrong, Tuganov swallowed down an entire bottle of Viagra. 12 hours later, he won the bet, but he then shortly after died of a heart attack. In 1974, Basil Brown literally drank himself to death, and no, it wasn't alcohol. Brown drank 10 gallons of carrot juice in a span of 10 days. This gave him 10,000 times the recommended amount of vitamin A. He not long after that died from severe liver damage. Gary Hoy, a 39-year-old lawyer out of Toronto, was doing his usual daredevil habit, body-checking the windows of his office on the 24th floor of the Toronto TD Centre, proving to coworkers they were unbreakable. On July 9th of 1993, Hoy decided to lighten up the mood for incoming articling students by doing his signature move, running into the windows. His first attempt, the window held. The second time, the glass popped out of the frame, sending Hoy free-falling to the courtyard below. He died from his injuries. Obviously. John Bowen was at a Jets vs. Patriots game in 1979. During halftime, a 15-minute air show was underway. Philip Cushman, a Brooklyn auto collision repairman, lost control of his model aircraft he was guiding, an odd plane in the shape of a lawnmower. The plane circled the stadium until it eventually nosedove into the stands of seated fans, striking two people, one being John Bowen. They both suffered serious injuries. Bowen died 4 days later. In 1997, Eric Barcia decided to go bungee jumping by himself. Barcia had a jumping point in mind that was 70 feet off the ground, so he tied together 70 feet of bungee rope. Now, I'm not a mathematician, but if you have 70 feet of bungee and a 70-foot drop, yeah, splat.